Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dev Plays Crucible of Avarice campaign. Okay, so I guess we'll just quickly go into it. We won't have Sam on these Saturday games, but we do have a couple of people that are sort of in and out, that will be potentially in and out over the next couple of sessions anyway. But Bill's not here for the first couple of minutes. He won't be in until I think the first after the first hour, due to transport, because he's in between two different places at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly recap, and then we're going to move on to exactly what's going on. So last episode, teleport guy known as Pete Blinkback was eventually convinced by an arcade to take him to his leader, the captain of the Oni pirates known as Yol Kiger, the strongest creature alive. An arcade informed Pete that the only reason why he wants to go and meet him is not only to fight him, but to see his strength and see if the title is indeed more than just exactly that. After going there, the rest of the party was left in the dust and eventually went to a village that was currently under occupation of a small pirate, I guess you could say, part of the pirate crew. After defeating them and maiming them in multiple different ways, they were informed by Pete Blinkback that Anarche had lost his fight with Yol Kiger and instead is now going to be on the island known as Jotunjail Island, a supposed place where all of the Oni pirates' prisoners are held and none of them can ever escape without the permission of the captain himself. After this, both the commander, who was maimed by Felix, and Pete Blinkback had teleported away, leaving the rest of the group wondering in bewilderment as to what exactly had just transpired. There are still a few of the opponents still unconscious, if they have not already bled out to death. However, as we come back to you guys, there are now some of the villagers and some of the villagers are currently walking up to you and looking at you, but they are keeping their distance. Some of them have weapons, but they have not brandished them yet, so they're not currently holding them or wielding them, but they are at least placing a leading hand on their showing weapons, if you will, as they look at you.
Are all the fires out?
Yes, so the Ring of Fire is now out, so you're no longer surrounded by it.
So you are no longer under pirate occupation. Congratulations.
They continue to still stare at you.
Anyway, I don't suppose there's an inn nearby.
Why are you here?
To kill some pirates. Well, not kill. No, shifting a look at Cloak, saying to disable them and stop them from their tyranny.
You know what will happen, right? More will come.
We'll just fight them too, then.
All you've done is put us in danger.
Well, I mean, we can just take any pirates that come over here, and then after a while they'll get bored and they'll stop.
That's exactly the opposite that happened. A few towns down, one of them tried to fight back, and eventually a general wiped the entire town off the map.
Oh, well, wasn't as strong as us then.
They all look at you with very cross eyes at this point. They're not really seeing... They're basically looking at you like as if not only are you naive, but almost like as if you're completely alien to the concept of consequence.
Yeah.
They're not
entirely wrong.
Yeah. Is your mayor about somewhere of the town? We wish to discuss some business with him before we move on to the next town.
They look at each other in confusion. What? We are a small village. What? What is a mayor?
Oh. Your governing body of who issues trades and other discourse with the towns nearby and other settlements.
A leader?
Enough. Yeah.
Yes, a leader.
Just to your leader.
Technically, the only leader that we had was of the pirates. They took over this place. There is no one currently heading this village.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry.
If you know what's good for you, affected, you will leave this place.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. Jeez.
Do you have anything to deal with these pirates, at least? Somewhere to lock them up, prevent them from trying to take over again? If they're not all dead, I can't actually tell.
It's best that you leave.
Right, Hill. So, where to?
Oh. Hold on. I'll just like maybe take their weapons away from them. Just take a few things.
I'm
Before we go.
assuming you mean the pirates, not the townsfolk.
Yeah. Yeah, the pirates, yes.
Okay.
Suzaku, what do you think? Where's the next place from here?
I could fly up and have a look. Perhaps see if there's any smoke coming around, but the only problem is, my friend, it is getting rather late in the day. It's nearly 4, but although we have a few more hours of daylight, it's still getting later on. We are no closer to finding out exactly what is going on in this place. And also, by the looks of these people, this is only a small village, and yet I can still sense a great deal of malice towards not only us, but also to anything that we're going to do here. Our occupation is very unwelcomed.
That's true. We would need to see about Cloak's sending some of his clan or friends to here. Just like we did in the other town.
Cloak reminds you just sort of almost swiftly, saying, actually, I didn't send anyone. I asked Theodore if he could get in contact with some of the guards from the southern region to defend Midland. So it was like, I have no connection to anyone, and I can't contact my clan, as I still have yet to finish my vow. Therefore, I have no actual leeway in their operations.
And this town doesn't have a leader that we could do the same thing with Teddy. Ooh.
Well, can't we just camp out in the forest?
If we were to do so, we'd still have the question of what else to do then. After all, we've just been informed that Anarche, our companion, has not only fallen to the old Kaiga, but he's now being held prisoner on an island, no less.
Well, we definitely have to bust him out eventually.
But we can't do that if all the pirates are still just gonna gang up on us once we get to the island. We still have the generals to deal with.
Zizaki then turns and asks the villagers, "Do you perhaps may you perhaps know where exactly these generals might be? After all, one is supposedly in the capital, correct? Do you know if they are anywhere near here?" Some of them still stare at you. It's incredible that most of them from this village seem to be outside of their houses, not too far from you guys, and haven't really moved and continued to keep their eyes on you. They stay quiet even after the questioning. and the tension continues to rise.
I think we should just go.
Yeah. I'm just
After
going to
we
search
take-
these pirates' bodies. Yeah, just pick them. Is it right if I roll investigation?
Just to remind you, you do not have any capability of gaining access to a pocket dimension, nor can you carry too much considering that you don't have a satchel that would be able to hold multiple physical big weapons.
That is fair enough. I mean,
Speaking of,
we've got yeah.
Speaking of things in pocket dimensions, we need supplies. Food. It's
Ooh, yeah.
pretty important. Is there a general store around here?
They'll
I
look around.
don't think these people will trade for us. No offense to them, but
No, their
We're
suspicions of us are duly noted. We're probably not going to be able to trade with them, I'm afraid. Perhaps we should try and see if they have anything here that we can take.
I feel like they have limited resources as is.
I mean, from the
Very bad.
pirates themselves. Surely they must have had some small stockpile around here somewhere.
True.
Without Anarche and his dimension, we are now completely out of food and resources. So we're going to have to be a lot more careful. Plus, we're no longer going to be able to hide Utili Lily's weird device. Utili Lily then clocks out and goes, "It's my lily pad." Yes, the lily pad.
Hashtag rude.
I feel like it could have been made differently. When I hear lily pad, I think of the things in the water, not things that fly.
Lily then says, "Well, there was another name, Floaty McFloatface."
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I voted for that. It's a much better name.
Can we focus now, please?
Yeah, let's grab what we can off the pirates and get moving. I don't like the look that one guy's giving me.
So, yeah, I guess everyone roll investigation. Raki, you've already rolled, so you don't have to, but if anyone else
Yep.
would like to, please roll investigation.
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 Oh, that's not a good investigation.
It's not a shot, at least.
Okay, so it's just a flat roll for me.
If anyone cares, it is cherry rum today.
Ooh, 2 berry rum.
2 berry cherry. Oh, dear and dear. I'm just quickly plugging in my phone because I just realised it's very low. So, what's everyone got? 24, a 4, and a 9. Oh dear. It's very difficult because Raki has picked these guys clean. Along with weapons, they have some coins. So they have, in sum total, they have... just real quick, need to have a look. They have... 600 silver pieces on them in total.
Oh.
So from all of them, you were able to gather 600 silver pieces. You were able to find at least 2 bottles of alcohol. It's very obviously alcohol because it both smells like alcohol, but it also smells like as if it has flavourings to it, so it's definitely drinkable, or at least so you hope. However, it's kind of obvious that like it's almost the equivalent of moonshine or something, considering it's not got any labels on it, and no markings on it to prove exactly what it is or where it came from. Finally, there is ammunition for certain types of pistols. Again, for revolvers, these particular types of pistol rounds can be used for the roulette.
Ooh.
However, they cannot be used with the regular pistols.
Ah, okay. So how many bullets for the roulette I will give them to Cloak?
Okay, there's about 20 in total.
20 roulette.
It's revolver pistols, basically. Revolver ammo, basically.
5.56.
Okay.
Not 5.56. 4.44 Magnum or 3.57.
I always imagine that it's more 3.57, but considering the amount of power that it has, it's almost like a 44 Magnum. But yeah, I'd say it's more like 44 Magnum, to be fair. Right, so let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so on top of that, you also find small amounts of food. This food is basically about 3 chunks of bread that will almost make up basically half a loaf of bread. So 3 chunks of bread and 3 bottles of water.
Refreshing.
Bottles.
Well, I mean
Well,
bottles,
it's better
sorry.
than nothing.
I mean water skins. Like
Oh,
little,
skins. Yeah, skins. Skins.
Sorry, I was just having a drink myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much what you find on them. After a while, Suzaku, Ridderun, walks up to you and just says, "Perhaps we should get out of here. They're continuing to stare, and even though that some of them are trying to get on with their, well, strange day, it seems as though that some of them are starting to talk about us whilst continuing to look in our directions."
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Before we go, can I look for that dagger that was like, pretty much thrown by that what was it called, the projectile enhancement dude? Because
the one that he threw, and it went like through a tree.
Yeah.
He threw back at you, basically.
Yeah. Because the other ones I've recovered because they were inside him.
Roll investigation with a disadvantage.
Dang it.
And I'm guessing there's no recovering of the animate dagger?
Oh yeah, no.
It's
gone.
gone. I loved it. That's
No.
no. Rest in peace, Animite dagger.
Rest in
All right.
pieces.
Oh, well, there's
dust.
no pieces. 11.
11. Hate to tell you this, you haven't rolled it in
no.
the thing.
Oh, down. So I have to do. Oh,
Yeah.
damn it! It's narrated well. So wait. Do I have to go into the dice rolls then? And
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it?
I have to do it in normal dice rolls.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, another one. Sorry.
I'm just gonna get the shot ready.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna use my
I'm gonna say
my SPMA.
I'm gonna say no, since no.
Oh no. Okay, fine.
So in this, because again, the whole point of it being a disadvantage is that like I kind of was expecting you not to get it. Also, there's another reason as to why you can't just use the reroll on this. So after looking for it for a while, people are starting to like just kind of show irritation, but also like you start noticing that there's like a very huge line of like chunks missing from trees continuing on a path. It's gonna take you a while to go through that, and to be honest, at this point, it's almost not worth it. But also, you can't really see where it would have landed or where it's gone.
It's like, dang it, that was my great dagger.
Oh.
Oh well.
I got you another one.
After some time of doing this, Utility Lily goes back to the lily pad along with the rest of the team. As you get on it, Utility Lily says, "So where do we go now?"
Heading to Suzaku, just...
Don't ask me, I don't really know much about the southern region myself. And Cloak is being rather, as he looks over at him, cryptic. He then puts his finger up at everyone. I'm thinking.
If only we had a map of the region.
Can I roll World Traveller? Like, see if I've got a knowledge perk here. Maybe no.
If you don't, you'll be rolling it with disadvantage.
There's only general knowledge of political structures of the land of the sunken moon.
I'd say you can, but instead of rolling a disadvantage, you can roll normally?
Okay, just rolled world knowledge or just world traveller?
Well, do you have tradesperson yet for world traveller?
No, I don't. So, it's a world traveller.
I'd say world knowledge anyway.
Okay, world knowledge. That's just a 9. Here we go.
Just
I like
a
how
nine.
you say just a 9.
Well, for Rakia, that's pretty low since
No,
it was.
it's not. That's stupidly high. Okay, so with a 13, you know that the political structure has affected the land in a lot of different ways, to the point where probably if the pirates are continuously being talked about having one of the only like demon generals in the capital, it's probably where they've got the most problems. Strategically, not knowing anything about the generals could be suicidal, but at the same time, if you guys are strong enough, maybe the lack of knowledge can still be, the gap could still be bridged with the factor of how strong you guys might be. But also, at the same time, you only know that the most important place in the southern region is the capital.
So maybe the capital? The belly of the beast?
How far?
I don't know. Maybe if we get high enough, we can figure it out.
I'll just have a quick look. It would be, the thing can go 70. The thing can go up to 70 meters off the ground. It's 110 kilometers per hour. So. It could basically take you about. It could take you about almost an hour and a half to get there, maybe 2 hours at worst. If you knew the exact direction. Twitch Cloaks is still sort of lost in thought and thinking about whether or not this is a good idea. As we now come back to another certain someone. Anarche, you sort of like are kind of coming to now. Like you're sort of waking up, sort of dazed. You feel like a really horrible pain in your head as like you're sort of coming to, and you feel like there's pressure on the back of your shoulders and on the back of your legs, and you almost feel like you're floating as you sort of start hearing muttering and murmuring. You can't quite pick it up passively, so you would have to roll for something if you would like to try and hear what is being said.
Sure, he'll try.
Okay. Roll me.
Would this just be normal, or would it be disadvantage considering he is coming to with a head injury?
I'd say since they're point blank, they're literally like right next to you. I'm gonna say normal roll.
Okay. 8.
8. You sort of hear every other word like something prisoner, something. Like you're not too sure. At one point, you could have sworn that you heard someone say "ion" or something like that. Like is like keep an eye on something, and then it sort of goes dark again. You then sort of hear like, all right, and then that's it, and then you hear something, so it goes, all right, and then suddenly you feel like yourself is like, you feel in your body, you're flying up in the air, and then boom, you land right down on the ground as you suddenly awaken properly. Still with a horrible pain in your head, you are currently lying on the ground in the dirt. As when you come to, you see two sort of rather like weirdly like brawny guys just standing over you about 2 meters away. As they sort of like look at you, sort of almost like as if you shouldn't really, you shouldn't really be awake yet.
No, this isn't the finest dirt I've ever tasted before.
Oh, look, Barnaby, he can still talk and crack wise. You're lucky that the captain didn't kill you. Hell, you're lucky that none of the others tried to kill you afterwards either. You're one lucky son of a gun.
Actually, I don't actually know how many times I've been told that, but I'll take your word for it, and I'll take it as a compliment for now.
You sort of hear a horrible sort of chingling and shangling, like a weird like noise as you try to move your arms, and your arms suddenly like lock together. As when you look down, the chingling noise is actually coming from weird black, almost obsidian-looking chains around your hands.
Well, this isn't usually the kind of fashion I'm into, but I'm assuming I don't have much of a choice in these ones.
Again, trying to keep yourself nice and calm using humour. That's a pretty clever one. However, the only tactic that you're going to need right now is the survivor's tactics, really, because, yeah, we have a couple of wardens around here, but if you don't really look after yourself, you are goner. Even if you were a favourite of the old captain, he wants you to join his crew, and we were told to ask you before we left you on this island if that's what you'd do, be one of his generals or something.
Oh, that sounds like a grand position. Although, I mean, he was pretty close, but I believe it had something to do with brain damage, and I don't think I'm quite there yet. As I say that, I would like to roll Willpower Body to try and just use the new skill variant of the healing thing to try and heal over my current ailments that I've got.
Fair enough. Roll Willpower with disadvantage.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, roll to do so.
I did say new skill variant, so I'll just roll
Yeah.
as that instead of the pure technique. 14. That doesn't really matter, but I do get rid of the other current ailments that I have, like the fractured skull and the cracked ribs.
Yeah, so you sort of feel like a tension in your muscles. You feel like a really horrible crack in your chest, and a sort of like a weird horrible knock. Like it was almost someone's like tapped you on the head with like a little plastic mallet, like a toy mallet. Like like that sort of almost rings throughout your skull, like a weird like little vibration as your skull sort of like is no longer cracked. And again, like it's almost like the cracked rib has sort of gone back into place and fixed itself. As you sort of doing that, you sort of like you hear like the horrible little knocks and cricks and cracks from your body, to the point of which that these guys can sort of hear it as well. When you do so, roll me an endurance.
Oh boy. Knockout. Oh, no, 18.
Okay, no.
Decent.
You feel somewhat revitalized, considering that despite the fact that potentially anywhere between a couple of minutes to a couple of hours ago, you just got hit in the face and full-on bodied by supposedly the strongest creature in the world. Your body feels a little numb, in certain ways, but other than that, you're actually feeling like as if you just woke up and got a full 8 hours. Because of this, you, for some reason, feel fully rested. Thanks to this, you will be back to your maximum HP. However, any of the particular things that you used prior to this awakening still has not yet regenerated, as you feel like you've been and had a full 8 hours, but you have not had a full rest. Due to this, you are now fully back to full health. But yes, as I said, any of your abilities that require cooldowns, they have yet to finish.
Cool. As I sort of get up and I go, oh, sorry, I just put my skull and ribs back together. I think I'll have to pass for now, thanks, gents. Or I should, thank the Yokaiga for the offer. Not quite ready yet to join his crew. I think I'll stay in this nice vacation home for a while. Maybe that will change my mind.
They both look at each other. I want to point out, the guy who's been talking most of this time, you sort of see roughly now, like you can start seeing their faces a lot more clearly now. The sun is sort of beating down behind them. The guy who's been mostly talking, he looks relatively normal, but you start seeing that he's got like an alligator tail coming out from him. The other guy, however, has 2 giant up-thrusting tusks, like as if he's some kind of orc. He also seems to have strange-looking eyes, like as if he's some kind of pit viper. As they both look at each other after what you say, they then begin to laugh wholeheartedly. As you start, catching more glimpses of exactly what's going on and your vision fully returns, you realise that you're in some kind of weird quarry-esque ravine, as it's just almost an entire crater of white rock and dirt. There are iron bars throughout this entire establishment, like a gigantic crater turned pit, and the iron bars are actually keeping people inside, locked in the exact same weird dark material that is around your arms, and now, you realise, legs. The chains on your legs, however, seem to be a lot longer, allowing you to at least walk around, but it looks like it's going to be annoying because, long chain regardless, it's still a chain that'll drag through the ground. As you look around, you also notice that some of these people are sort of looking rather desperate and dire, and as they look at these 2 laughing hooligans, when they finish their laugh, they then turn back to you and go, oh, thank you, honestly, man, I needed that joke. But here's the deal, you're not ever getting out of here until you sing your sweet little song of, yes, Captain, I'll join your crew. And if you don't, well, I'm afraid no one gets out of here alive. So, good luck with that. Now, if you excuse us, we're going to head off because the warden's letting us out early for good behaviour.
Oh, well, enjoy your break, lads.
They then walk off.
Just looks around. It's like, well, am I going to do anything?
As you sort of looking around, roll me, I guess, either a perception or an insight.
I will say perception for now.
Okay.
18.
Again, as you look around, you don't see too many authoritative-looking figures. As a matter of fact, when you notice these guys walking away, they eventually walk up to a guy who's in a very strict-looking uniform, which is very weird, because although most of them are dressed in sort of weird cloaks and coats and attire that looks like as if they've just been stealing a little bit of everything from everyone, this guy is actually looking like as if he's got a full-blown uniform on. When these 2 come up to him, he then seemingly snaps his fingers twice, and when he does, they immediately disappear. After that happens, this particular gentleman begins walking towards you. He has a large, again, uniformed hat on, and also sunglasses as black as the abyss itself, as he begins walking towards you.
Can't understand that. Are there any other prisoners around here
There
at
are
this moment, or is it?
there are indeed many. However, none are within your immediate vicinity. None of them are anywhere near you within about a 10-meter radius of you.
Fair enough. I assume this guy will get annoyed if I walk away from him, so I'll just wait for him.
Eventually, after he finishes walking up to you, he basically, his face is right in front of your face. He's only a little taller than you, and you can almost tell that seems to sort of irritate him. Because it's almost like he walked over to you like with a lot of bravado, and then started realizing, oh, this guy's like 5'11", 6 foot tall sort of thing. When he's staring down at you, he's really kind of annoyed because you're like, even though that you're face to face, he's like barely an inch or so taller than you. Well, if you ain't the sorriest excuse of a new prisoner I've ever seen. What's your name, boy?
Anarche.
Anarche! What kind of a name is that? What kind of world do you come from?
One like this, I
Oh,
guess.
I'm sorry. That's my bad. I was just asking to see if I actually thought I was gonna care. Too bad I don't give a shit. So here's the deal. You are gonna be in this prison for the rest of your sorry excuse of a life. And here's how it's gonna go. I am your warden. You are gonna listen to everything I say. If I tell you to die, you will die, boy. Do you understand me?
Do the shades come with the job, or is that just like a you thing?
Roll me an acrobatics, please. An acrobatics or finesse, I'll give you that, actually.
I'll roll acrobatics. 23.
As you sort of see, like, you see, like, just a vein pop out on his head, and then immediately just, like, it seems as though he goes for what seems to be, like, a metal object and attempts to swing for you with it. How do you wish to dodge it?
Considering he seemed annoyed that I was taller than him, I'll just duck down, so I'm shorter than him. I don't know if you'd allow this. Because this wasn't finesse, this was acrobatics. Would I be able to take the shades?
Ooh, only because you said it was acrobatics, I'm going to say no. I would have loved that to happen, but no. Actually,
No, fair enough.
Actually, I've got a... No, actually, no. So, when you duck down perfectly as you swing. Do you stand back up after the swing has been done, or do you continue to duck?
I stay slightly ducked, so I'm slightly shorter than him. So he can look down on me better.
Do I make myself clear? You will not be doing that again. If I hit you, you better be hit.
The ducking or the shade question?
Both questions, boy. Questions are not allowed in this prison.
That's not very academic.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
I love it. I love it.
You're gonna die, boy.
He then just looks at you, and again, like the vein just pulsing on his forehead as he's just like clearly looking at you. The most anger he's ever felt. Tell me, boy, do you feel like you want to, I don't know, scream out in pain? Or even perhaps you feel like as if your entire body is suddenly about to drop down to the ocean of the abyss that is your sorry excuse for a life. Maybe your entire body feels like it's drained by the vampire of vitality.
Man, you are very good with descriptive vowels. Why are you doing this job for first? And second of all, I mean, I can't say I do want to, but it wouldn't be the first time.
So you're telling me that those cuffs... He then rubs his completely perfectly shaven chin.
Well, are these gonna do something?
Listen, boy, you don't feel like you as if you have any powers now, do you?
Anarche realizes for a second that he's actually not sensing anything. Hugs on the things, like on the chains a bit. Do they feel like does it when he's like pulling on them like against each other? Does he feel a lot weaker than usual, or is it just?
It's hard to describe it. It's almost like as if your entire strength has been like minimized by about one Hercules.
Yep. I don't have powers. Huh.
And you're able to dodge me so quickly, boy. And that's possibly why your Kaga wants your sorry ass to suddenly be one of his demon generals. Well, let's try and tip you up into tip-top shape. Or die trying, boy. Here's how it's going to go. The particular type of material that's on you is known as void glass. It is made out of a specific type of material to sap you of any of your powers, and also drain any of your sorry excuse for a life force. Although it seems as though if you have a strong enough will, it seems that all you do is lose your powers, and you seem to be able to walk around here like as if you're a normal person. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Here's what I'm going to get you to do then. We have a few rocks that we need smashing, and the only way to smash them is with your fists. If you break before those boulders, tough.
So just like normal exercise then.
Absolutely. We need to get you in tip-top shape. Now, get over there.
Sure. Where is it over there exactly?
As he points over to, like, a pile of rocks, there are other people either punching the rocks or holding other rocks to break rocks with.
Alright then. I'll just wander over.
Now, I want to point out, some of these people are able to do this for a couple of hits before their hands basically begin gushing with blood. A couple of guys are able to, like, take the rock and smack it, but all it does is create one tiny-ass spark before eventually they're, like, sort of just flumping over to the ground and just sort of, like, lying there like as if that was all they had in them. These people are just exhausted.
Well, I'm gonna say then before I do this, I would like to use my master skill under body, or at least attempt to roll for it, and convert my dex from 18 to 8 and put that into Constitution, so that becomes 18.
Oh, okay. Roll willpower.
Disadvantage?
No. The only reason the first one was disadvantaged because you just woke up.
Right. Okay. Yes.
As your body begins to sort of shake a little bit more feebly, as you suddenly no longer feel like as if you have the same motor control over your body as you do, you suddenly feel like your muscles sort of like tone a bit better now, as you have converted 10 points from dexterity all the way into constitution.
Alright, let's go on with this. I start punching the rocks.
Roll me strength, which you can roll.
Can I roll hand to hand?
You can actually, yes. I was going to say you can either roll strength, labor, or hand to hand.
Cool. I'll roll hand to hand. 19.
Awesome. Roll me constitution.
Cool. 16.
As you strike this rock with your fist, even though that like it smacks against it, and you kind of almost feel a level of futility, because you know that with when your powers are there, you can break rocks with barely even a thought. This time you hit it, and it's almost like as if you were hitting mineral back when you did have super strength. Like at this point, this thing, if you're actually not 100% convinced that this is not a rock, and instead it's actually made out of like indestructible material. When you punch it, it does kind of hurt, but thankfully, even though that you hit it as pretty much as hard as you think that you can, given the lack of super strength, your body is able to withstand the impact, and therefore you have not taken any damage nor injuries to your hand. Despite the punch, you don't really feel that much pain. However, it is really awkward to move around in these chains due to the fact that they are quite short. So when you threw the punch, you had to carry the other hand with you just to be able to do so.
As I sort of do that, I'm realizing, oh yeah, this might not go as great as well. Sort of, breathe in, breathe out. As I do that, I'm just going to try and activate basic willpower body.
Okay.
like armament.
Okay.
So I have that sort of coating me. No plus.
Come on, do your kegels. You can do this, bro.
Yeah, because it's only
Yeah.
10. So,
Nice.
and I'm just gonna start like full on, just keep punching this rock and not stop.
Okay. Roll me. Roll me a d20.
Just a flat d20 or just like...
Sorry. Yeah, roll me hand. Roll me hand.
Yeah. 21.
Nice.
Roll me a d6.
Roll me a I'm going to ask you to roll me... funny enough, I'm going to ask you to roll me your damage. Just your damage dice, not your modifiers yet.
Okay. Okay, so just... So...
Basically, I think it's a 2d6.
2d6s, yeah.
Nice. So
6.
this is going to be over the span of 6 separate punches as you keep hitting it. Roll me now the proper damage that you would be dealing with.
I will say this would fuck my pure technique. Am I allowed to use that?
What, with hand?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Alright, cool. So it'd be 46s. Plus 13.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh!
And repeat that 5 times.
Alright, cool. Let me
As
copy
you
and paste that.
Strike it. Almost like as if you are a man at a forge striking hot iron.
Oh, damn! Crit damage.
Boosh! Again.
Max damage!
And then
Wow.
on the second strike, you shatter this rock. While still then carrying your fist, you then go for another punch and shatter it again with the third hit. It's now completely nothingness as you then turn to see if there's any other rocks around here.
Alright, some of the guys that are struggling, I go over to their rocks and start punching them.
Okay, yeah.
Let me give you a hand.
How many punches is it meant to be?
You've got 2
6.
more left.
2 more. Okay.
You crack.
You're gonna let them take credit for it. You gotta let them take credit for that. It's
Then-
like, oh, wow, you did it,
You then
dude.
break one, and then in the final hit, you then go over to someone else's and hit it, and again shatter it in a single punch. As they're like looking at you, like as if you're like some kind of freak.
You know, I shout over to the warden, this is great for arm muscles, but like it doesn't really do it for the legs.
I want to point out, you look at that, and he's got at this point he's got a cigar in his mouth, and he just immediately it just like tilts downwards when he sees you do this. Like he then grabs it with his left hand and then starts walking over, like shuffle walking over to you, as he then again like leans right over to you. He then starts looking around frantically, like what can I get him to do?
I mean, you're the one say you got a... Oh, sorry, warden, sir, warden, sir, warden.
I've got an idea for you, boy.
Yes.
If you want to become the best, if you want to become the strongest, if you want to become this fine ship-shape crew, there's only one way that you're going to be able to do this, and there's only going to be one way that I can punish you well and truly. He then places the cigar back into his mouth. Takes a very large intake and breathes the smoke right into your face. Follow me. As we now come back to the rest of the crew. The rest of the crew. Have you guys made up your decisions? Cloak, are you now back, Bill?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, does anyone want to explain to Cloak exactly what their plan is?
Well, I think that we should go to the center, but I don't know where that is.
What?
The capital.
Capital.
The capital, yeah.
The center of what? Like,
Sorry, the capital. Sorry, I was thinking like the city center,
We're
'cause,
going
like,
to the center of the earth.
Yes!
I mean,
yeah,
Anarka's already working on it, so...
Everyone grab a shovel.
Who needs a shovel? I could just get there in 5 seconds.
So yeah, basically the Rakia at some point had the only idea that she could come up with for where you guys would go next is suddenly, oh, what about the capital? Since we already know that there's a demon general there, maybe we could take her down. You guys are currently standing on the lily pad, waiting for directions. You've been asked, but I basically said that your character was giving it a couple of minutes to think about his own strategy or to think about what exactly they had said. We now come back to you as you have had plenty of time to have a thought.
Do we have the name of the demon general?
No.
No, actually you don't, because nobody asked that. They were informed, however, that the demon general in question, after they were challenged or questioned by a bunch of people, a certain town was completely wiped off of the map after they had basically shown too much resistance to the demon general and the pirates in question.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say to the group, the capital wouldn't be too bad for gathering our own soldiers to defend the lands that we are clearing the pirates. As a demon general, I know of 3 demon generals already. Do you think it would be most likely that a sniper would be there, since there are a lot of vantage points and it could be difficult? Or maybe someone who's a poison user? I feel like from Huskonian would be surely awkward in a highly populated area.
However, one could also argue that if it is indeed a sniper, why would they want to be in the middle of a city? Unless, of course, if they were at an always convenient vantage point.
Well,
Furthermore,
because it's much harder to find a sniper in a city full of people than in the mountains, where you could, to be honest, if they're using a weapon, probably just see the reflection of a scope.
however, you could also argue that, let's look at it in the previous way, most places have occupied and made themselves rather well known. Fair enough, they haven't exactly taken over the entirety of a place and ruled over it with an iron fist, but they have at least made themselves well known to these particular people of the south. Perhaps they might actually be a little bit more stronger-willed in the terms of their iron fist rulings. Or perhaps you may think otherwise.
Well, that could be true, or there could also be another outcome. Although, maybe they didn't think it through that hard, where perhaps there is a front man of some kind for the sniper.
So you believe that in the city centre we shall find a sniper, or at least the demon general hiding there would be the sniper?
I don't know, but I feel like being cautious of a sniper is probably the best thing to do, since the other two, I mean, I don't think we necessarily would need to be specifically cautious of. I mean, someone with poison, important, but for an effect, they are closer to regular enemies that we deal with than a sniper.
Ah, so you're considering the cautiousness of the situation. If it is a Huskonian or even a poison user, they will still at least have a limited range, and they would have to fight more directly. Whereas a sniper
Would cover the whole place and easily shoot us from the air.
Absolutely. However, that is a lot to think about. Regardless, though, even if it is or isn't, you're talking about being cautious of a sniper in case of their existence, due to the difficult strategies that we would have to employ to deal with them, correct?
Yes, that is what I'm saying, since I don't actually know whether there's a sniper there or not, but there is a sniper amongst them.
Well, I'm with whatever you wish to go for. If we want you to go to the capital, supposedly according to Lily, it could take anywhere between 1 to 2 hours.
That seems fine. Also, we could pick up some more food, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say. It'd be good to, whether through foraging or actually going someplace that has food for sale, getting some more supplies can never hurt.
So, in that case then, we're not going to go after Anarche?
Not yet.
Yeah, we will go after him once we settle a few more
I'm
scores.
sure he can break himself out of whatever he's gotten himself into.
Oh,
Did Anarche have a band?
yes.
Yes.
Could I try and, knowing that the bands can like view battles and stuff, could I like try and like look up the battle that happened?
Yes, absolutely you can.
That would.
Since you already know how this is done, everyone sees this. Just obviously because it's been so many months since you last did this, I'll tell you what you do, because obviously a lot of very specific things. So when you look at it, you do exactly what you saw Tendra do when she did this, where you basically obviously lift up your hand in front of you, like as if you're looking at a watch, and then you then say, "Show battle records of Inarche." The band then starts changing colours. Now, I want to point out, just as a reminder, your band is no longer red. Your band is blue.
Correct.
As it begins changing and all sorts of different weird, sort of almost glitchy lookalikes onto it, it eventually creates a large screen for you to have a look through. Everyone else can see this almost strange hologram, as it is the video of Anarche fighting against Yolkaiga. The two of them are sort of on a beach. Yolkaiga places seems to be like a large club, sort of a club-like mace, as he slams it into the sands and sort of grinds it down so that it will stay upright. As the two of them begin their fight, they immediately start hitting each other back and forth, before when Yolkaiga slams a strike on Anarche, he just straight up launches him off of his fist with a massive uppercut. As Anarche is like flown through the air, you can see it from his perspective as he's just like flying, and then you sort of almost see like a third person perspective, as then suddenly, like as he's about to reach the apex point of his like journey upwards, and as he's about to begin falling, immediately you recognize the teleporter appears, grabs hold of him, and then disappears, and the both of them are now back on the ground, safe. Anarche, however, is unconscious, broken and battered, and eventually you then hear, "Take him off to Jotun Jail Island. Isn't that right, Captain?" He then just sort of wipes the blood off of his knuckles and looks over at what, weirdly enough, it's almost like as if he's looking over at a camera directly into the screen. You see the man himself as he looks over with his piercing eyes. He then smiles. Aye. That'll do. Take him away. We could make a great general out of him soon one day. The feed disappears. In the last frame, you notice something appears on Yolkaiga's arm. It looks,
Oh no.
It looks like a red band.
I have more points than Yolkaiger.
That doesn't mean his bounty is gone, right?
I don't think it would have. He's too prominent a figure for it all to just go away.
Well, even if it's gone in terms of points, couldn't we just turn him over to the government or something?
Oh yeah.
If we
We
have
have to
him,
take
he
him
has a...
alive though.
Yeah, well... Yeah.
No.
Oh, so we can kill him? And we still get money?
Yes.
I think that's
Oh.
how bounties work.
Oh.
That's making a lot of assumptions that we could even kill that monster. Did you not see how proficient he was in combat?
Well, if we can take him down, then we can kill him.
Bounty or no
Wait.
bounty, we now have means to keep track of Yolkaiger, and vice versa. He has means to keep track of us if he so wanted to.
Speaking of
Uh-oh.
which, you were able
Yeah.
to use that device, correct? You knew Anake's name. What if you didn't know someone's name? Could you still randomly guess?
I would say yes, because if he has been watching any of the fights up to now, he would know names of contestants.
I'm gonna say, I think the only person who's actually able
After
to
all,
roll for this is Felix. I think Felix, you can roll history. Sorry, Fletcher. Continue what you were going to say.
considering what's the name of the guy who's made the bands? It's slipping my mind.
Stilton Maximilian.
Stilton. Considering Stilton's pretty much installed a big screen for everyone to watch in pretty much every settlement.
I'm gonna... Well, after Cloak's rolled his thing, I'm going to
Well-
try...
Felix.
I've got an
Yeah.
idea. Sorry,
Gonna say
sorry,
wonder
Felix.
rolling.
It is. It says history. You said not like like ingenuity or anything.
No, it's a history because you actually were told about this before.
Okay. 12.
So you remember from what Tendra was telling you is that you have to get the name right, sort of similar to like if you were to say like say for instance like an Amazon Alexa or a Siri, you have to get the name correct. Like if you said, show me the footage of Greg. If there is 50,000 Gregs in the tournament, it's going to be random. Anarche is the only person with a unique name, and therefore the only person in the tournament with that name. Yolkai would have to not only know the name of a person, so he'd have to know one of you guys' names, but he'd also have to get the name right if your name is a common name. So, just as a reminder, you guys are named Talos, Rakia, Felix Fatigue, and then of course Fletcher Motatame. On top of that, you also have Utili Lily, but considering that Utili Lily is also an influencer, there could also be some arguments as to whether or not she would be well known to Yolkaiger, who on the beach didn't really look to have a lot of technology at all. So there is a good possibility that you might be safe from him since you still have anonymity, and you still don't know if Anarche spilt the beans on everyone who's on his team or not, but at the very least, if he was able to find out where you guys were, that would mean that you'd know that he knows your names.
Hey Joe, do the bands have the same issue as the devices like that they have a hard time registering accents?
What is that, sir? What is that, sorry?
Like
You know
Alexa's or something.
Yeah, how they Alexas tend to not really understand Scottish accents.
Yeah.
Despite this, they are actually able to understand whoever the wearer is. So,
So it's personalized.
thankfully, it does at least understand when you are specifically saying something.
Things about Siri or Alexa or literally any of those that all pronounce my last name wrong. There's no winning against it. My last name will forever be pronounced differently than it actually is.
Oh, technology.
Fatigue.
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 It just calls Felix fatty.
I'm so subconscious.
Fatigue.
Smash.
Anyway, so with that being said, do you explain this information to the rest of your party?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an idea. I'm going to try with my band. I'm going to try. It's in Pirates on Land of the Sunken Moon. It's sort of like a general Google term.
Nothing happens.
About.
What's his name? Teleportation Pete or something?
Pete.
No, he hasn't got a band.
Although I don't. Actually, you all heard his name. Yeah.
So, Land of the Sunken Moon fights?
Those begin to pop up as tiny little, basically, kind of just like a load of little thumbnails and tags all over your arm, and you can even scroll using your arm as a touchscreen.
We see if are they ranked in terms of views or anything, or interest?
You can't see that in the one that Rakia has searched up. It's just Fights of the Land of the Sunken Moon.
Probably earliest to latest.
Yeah. Show most recent.
Again, it does nothing for a second, and then it starts sort of like almost loading for about 2-3 seconds, and then suddenly shows about 5 different panels.
Aha. So anyone that's got like bands on the Land of the Sunken Moon, maybe we could. Well, maybe some of them are pirates, maybe not. That's some information, at least.
Still.
What is
Felix,
Mm-hmm.
you were able to get to our location because you followed the band to... What was it? To us through the name alone?
Correct. Or, well, was it? No, I think it was we were told the location through other means.
Although
if I remember correctly.
You did track them. You were told the rough location of where they'd be, but you also did track them using their names. I believe you used the name of... I think you used the name of Rakia to find out where they were.
I think originally we used Adrian.
No, because what you did was you used... actually, yes, yeah. No, you used...
It was
we tried Adrian. Adrian was dead, I think.
Well, actually, no. Adrian's thing was gone, and then you tried Rakia, and then just before you got there,
it died.
It then disappeared again. So then you had to think, what was his name? What was his name? And then you finally remembered. Oh yes, he called himself Talos, and then that's how you were able to get that one, and then that's how you were able to do it. So you actually had to swap through 3 times due to the fact that they lost the band, and then one of them died, losing the band, and then it was a whole malarkey. So that's how you were able to find them.
Does this? I forget. Does Anake still have their band, or?
That's what I'm getting at.
They would still have their band.
Couldn't we just use the same method to locate where Anake is at this point?
Do we need to do that right now?
Perhaps we do.
Be at least nice to know where General is, so afterwards we can go get him.
And again,
yes, he'll probably break out eventually and find us, but
again, if he engages in any battles, we will be able to see those, assuming he has a band. So keeping tabs on that is definitely worthwhile.
Yeah. the only thing I can think of right now. Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna kick back until we arrive. Well, obviously, don't be flying too close to the capital because I don't fancy being shot down.
So we're going to the capital then. Unless, is there anywhere nearby that you know of, Cloak, that could at least help us resupply?
A Cloak, I guess you could try to roll a world knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought he was dipping.
Was he dipped, or?
Yep, he's back.
I've returned.
Back from your pondering.
Yes.
So,
You're
do you know
brooding
of
in
anywhere nearby that might be able to resupply us, Cloak?
Well, if we find the Shungi clan, that could work, but if we're going to the capital, we could just figure out a way to pick up some supplies.
Okay, so
Okay.
is the plan? Is everyone okay with the plan of using the lily pad to send everyone to the flyover to the capital, basically, of the southern region?
Yeah, we're not going too close to the capital. We'll fly, I guess, a mile away from the capital, and then we can walk there.
Gotcha.
Mm.
As you begin the journey, Rakia, do you just? So when you looked at the battles, is that all you did with it, and then just left it alone, or did you want to look at the actual battles?
Yeah, I want to look at the actual things actually, because I'm now. Rakia's in her own little sort of like, well, I can do cool stuff.
So when you had
Distracting from the loss.
when you had a
of
look
my
at the
weapons.
most recent, funny enough, yours comes up where you guys were, sort of the thumbnail of everyone fighting, and funny enough, all of the different ones, weirdly enough, are. It's sort of almost like the best way to put it is the thumbnail has like a little logo, like a little emblem in the corner, and it looks like basically multiple like pieces of paper, like multiple pages of paper, as the little logo on the side. You notice that none of the other thumbnails have that, except from the one that is clearly the fight that you guys had.
Can I extrapolate that means we're in a group fight, or is that what that means?
Roll me
Or...
ingenuity.
Okay. Alright. Ingenuity, you say? I
Yes.
have some of that.
Good.
Actually, I have a lot of that. I got 13. Dang. I forgot about that.
That's right.
30,
You did
yeah.
help do the teleporter thing.
It is pretty darn obvious that means that it's a video where multiple people were being recorded at once. So basically, it's otherwise all of those 5 videos would just be from the group alone. So it's obvious that this is like a cluster of videos that was with multiple people in the tournament, with all bands at the same time in the same combat, within the same radius of combat. So that you've extrapolated that information. The next one in between, the next one is like a thumbnail. You don't really necessarily recognize. It's just basically like a couple of different people fighting. It's not really 100% clear who these people are. You don't really recognize them. The third one, you recognize that one. It's Anarche and Yolkaiga. The two after this, now this kind of actually like takes you off guard. First one is technically the fourth one is sort of like pretty much just a blood-covered blue gi wearing guy taking a stance with a katana. You sort of recognize him. However, the next one, the fifth video, is a guy with long red hair having a... The best way to put it is an almost demonic-looking smile on his face. It is an ugly face, to say the least, in the terms of the way that he has contorted the muscles in his face. And again, this is a face that you recognise as well.
Oh my god, it's him! It's him!
So the last two are Dias Miyamoto and
Yeah.
the Ogre Champion, or the Behemoth Champion, should I say.
Oh my god. Yeah. Original character, do not steal. Guys? The Behemoth Champion is here.
You know how close.
Can I just look at the data as to what this video was taken?
It happened in the last
track
hour.
Behemoth.
And again, obviously, it's from the land of the sunken moon.
Yeah, so, it's happening. Okay then. I do the thing where I track him, saying, like, where is Behemoth Champion?
You then see that the entire, all of the videos disappear. They're all completely gone now from your arm. As then, again, it goes into the recycling for a few seconds, and then immediately a screen pops up in front of you, and it shows you sort of the beacon and where you are. It looks like as if he's currently on the northern side of Midland. So
That far away?
That's where we were.
yes, so it's about
Uh-oh.
just less than 100 kilometers away from where you guys are right now.
He's closing in on us, and fast.
Didn't
No, he's not.
was it the Wizard Champion? The one that was on the boat.
Yeah,
What was
the
it,
sorceress.
or something.
The sorceress.
Sorceress.
Didn't she say that the Behemoth Champion was hunting her? And all the other champions that had taken part again.
I'm sorry, I'm not entirely understanding this. The Behemoth Champion, you're talking champions as in previous winners of the Omega Championship Games, correct?
Yes.
Do you think they'd want to fight your Kaiga?
I could imagine Behemoth Champion possibly trying that.
I did hear a strange rumor recently about someone supposedly seeing something. Whilst you guys were off earlier today, and I was just guarding Midland, I did hear a strange rumor that someone had heard someone from another person, and so on and so forth. By the time, I just thought that it was just strange hearsay from passed down to other people's hearsay. Wind and whispers within the wildish imaginations of all the people. But according to the rumor, a man was seen swimming to the island, and then attempted to defeat and beat up, successfully, 3 members of the Orochi clan, single-handedly. If he swam all the way here, even from the closest island, that man would have been swimming for hours. Across an entire ocean?
It's possible.
That can't be true, though, can it?
I can believe it.
I mean, they're champions for a reason.
I've heard of more impressive feats anyway.
Oh, come now.
It's just swimming.
I mean, you can ask Rakia firsthand. She went up against it.
Yeah. He's the reason why I developed ghoul style. I
So
want to
he
beat him with it.
drove you to try and become a better fighter.
Yeah.
Well, This man doesn't seem all that bad.
Oh no, he's the worst.
Oh. How so?
Well, he's rude. He's very, he's values strength and sadism above all else. He's, well, he made me lose my multiplier and all my points in the 1-to-1, and I'm a little sore about that still.
His shoulders
Right.
slump down as he then realizes that, like, half of what you just said doesn't really have anything to do with, like, being a bad person.
I say he cheats, and well, in terms of like Rakia's front is like he's a bad person,
I haven't heard any proof so far from your end that he's actually a bad person. What makes you think that he cheated? Did you actually see him cheat?
Well, Adrian told me. Tried to strangle her in the ring, and that's not allowed.
In a fighting arena, I would have been sure that would have been allowed.
Oh no! Well, it was in like just using your hands. It was like technically counting as a weapon. It wasn't. It was a low thing. It was not very good. I mean, in fairness, Adrian did, use their structure powers as well for a bit, but then the judges were kind of like, allowing anything at that point. It was very bad.
I'm just going to ask you to roll me a history, Rakia, real quick.
Yep. That would be just a 10. Wow. Hold on a minute. Can I use my SPMA and...
Oh, okay, you can if you'd like,
Please.
yeah.
I mean, let me just check if I've got my SPMA. It's like, do I?
Don't think you used
No,
it.
I don't. I know.
Yeah, I don't think you've used it so far.
No.
this day.
Well, yeah, but it's for wisdom-based rolls. This one, so don't think.
You have one for intelligence?
Oh, maybe I do. This is the thing. Do I have one for? No.
Oh, I
No,
thought
I
you
guess
had
I
like
did.
an ability called like Rethink or something.
Yeah, but then we rejigged the characters, so no.
Yeah, you kept all of those abilities.
Not really?
Yeah, remember you kept all
For
of
the
your
extra
SP
skill.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. It was for super dex. You see, I got course correction and I got water runner from that. I didn't get to keep my master skill or anything, so...
Oh, okay, I didn't know that your Rethink ability was a master skill, because I didn't think you actually maxed out intelligence at the time.
Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't actually max it out or anything. I didn't get any SPMAs for that. It was just something that
You wanted, but you never
floated
got any.
around.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So no, that's
Fair enough.
I was unconscious for a lot of it.
Well, I'm just gonna say that's. I'm just gonna say. Cloak, you watched it, didn't you? Because you actually said that.
I was there.
I'm gonna ask you to roll me a history, and Rakia, that's exactly how you remember it, regardless of whether or not that is or isn't true.
Well, I don't have great faith in this, so
Okay.
here we go.
Wow.
No.
Okay, 19. That's actually not how it happened. He actually didn't. So what actually happened is, although that he did strangle, or actually, should I say, hang Adrian by her little, basically by her collar tie thing. Even though, like, basically she had a tie, he was able to hang her from it. She then used a brooch that was made out of animite and used it as like a makeshift knuckle duster to punch him. The referees didn't stand in on this until after Adrian attempted to do so, in which Behemoth actually then shouted, "Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. I'm not disagreeing with her using it, nor are you having a go at me because of the fact that I used her tie against her."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he actually, if anything, he actually is all for unfairness. he actually just doesn't like it when people, like, basically unfairly rule unfairness. So it's actually a really weird take on it. He didn't necessarily cheat, either, due to the fact that, like, he was using their clothing against them. It was actually because they realised that, oh, maybe this piece of jewellery technically counts as a weapon, but this is actually bad, and that's why they actually called against Adrian. It was only because that he actually intimidated the judges that they actually let it fly. And he even basically, like, put himself back in the spotlight of the maybe I'm cheating if that's the case sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I recall.
Yeah, so it's not exactly recalled in the way that how Rakia recalls it is not actually how it actually in reality happened.
Which is kind of what Cloak would expect.
Yes. Does Cloak go on to say anything about this, or let you leave Rakia in her ignorance?
You know, Rakia, I don't think that's how it happened.
Well, I did get punched pretty hard, so I can't refute you, but I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. That's what I remember.
From what
Okay,
people
then.
told me.
I mean, I think we should probably go after him after he's gathered some more points.
That's a great idea. I need to go for round 2.
Speaking of which, do we even know how many points he has?
Is there some kind of leaderboard or some feature? I really don't
Wasn't
know.
he the first one to get a blue band?
He's probably got loads now.
He
Ooh.
literally got it in front of everyone in the tournament.
I want to point out at this point, Redarin Suzaku is just looking at all of you, and he's just, like, Redarin is just looking at you, just like, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like, looking between all of you guys, like, as if it's, like, a really fast ping-pong match between, like, several people.
A 4-player ping pong match.
It just to go to the band. You know, how many points does Behemoth Champion have?
BMO.
Behemoth.
It looks through. There is no one called Behemoth.
Behemoth. Yeah, Behemoth. Sorry.
As you recite the words again, it comes up with his point total, which I actually do have here. Hang on a second.
Oh no.
I just now need to find the actual conversion sheet as well.
Behemoth Champion. Yeah. Sorry, it's late, you guys. I'm tired.
He's really cleaning up the competition.
Behemoth, my guys.
Well, he's certainly wiped the floor with me.
Well, actually, when you look at it, it says that he has Behemoth Champion. The Behemoth Champion has 1.7 million.
Arakia's eyes just sort of widen, like, you know, jaws drop and stuff, and like, and if we get him, then it's multiplied.
I'm confused. Multiplied? What do you mean multiplied? What does it multiply by?
I'm not sure how many. It's like Maximilian said that the points will be doubled if we take down champions.
Is it? Well, I mean, obviously, we should perhaps focus on this, but then again,
Yes.
if he is chasing after us, and he is as strong as you say, could also be reason and cause to fight him now, so that he doesn't come after us later.
We'll find.
Are we even certain that he's coming after us? I know I'm saying this as the person with the highest number in this group.
Oh, I don't think he's coming for us.
Oh,
He's
Yeah,
probably
I
going
think
for
he
the
is.
sorceress.
I thought you were going to say, I don't think you do, because I just... Because I just... As you said that, I was just looking at everyone's bands. I think... I don't know, yours isn't on show, is it, Cloak?
No,
Because I think yours is...
not right now, no.
Okay. But yeah,
Either
so...
way,
That still begs the question, if he is hunting the Sorceress Champion, he's still very close to where we are. Does that mean the Sorceress Champion's around here somewhere?
Rakia,
I
can
guess,
you roll me a willpower disadvantage, please?
Well, here we go. Here I go,
Oh, boy.
willpowering again.
Here we go again!
Oh boy, here I go killing again. I want to point out,
fuck.
everyone's been talking about this, but nobody has noticed this yet. Rakia has been salivating, staring at her hand that has got this hologram on it, showing her that massive bonus and the total, and everyone's talking about maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. I don't know, we need to do this. This entire time, Rakia, the only thing that is in your mind is vengeance, money, vengeance, money, 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 vengeance, but points!
Just figuring, like, I'm gonna say, oh, you made a big mistake coming here. You made a big mistake coming here, Bear. It's a behemoth champion. I'll show you the cool style.
At this point, your impulse is, because again, you've got a 4, your impulse control is gone. You don't necessarily, it's not that you want, it's not that you don't want, but it's not necessarily about wanting at this point, it's needing to fight him. And I don't mean as in you need to fight him, I mean as in you need to fight him now. The obsession is locked in. You need to fight the Behemoth Champion. To both prove that you are better than you were before, perhaps better than him, but also for them points, baby.
If he's got it, I should say, come on, let's fight him now, let's fight him now, let's fight him now. After all, we'll get him out the way.
If we leave him for later, we can get more points, and I think my country's freedom of these pirates is more important than some points, right?
I'm gonna say you two will have to roll against each other in the terms of charisma, because this is all of what Rakia is about.
Oh no. So what am I rolling? Just straight charisma, or
I would say.
I mean, mine's bad, so.
I would say persuasion. Both of you are persuasioning, battling against each other.
Here we go.
Oh god.
Let's go.
Oh no. -4 to a persuasion check, a demodified one, and just a flat 12 from Cloak. Okay. No, there's as much as you want to, Cloak does sort of just like put his hand up, say it how it is, my country is in great need. You, Raki, you feel the words of your friend hit you, and it sort of snaps you out of this greed, this avaricious feeling, as you realise, no, I am here to do this for Cloak.
And we'll get more points later.
And if look, also a little bit of that, but it's more, you know what it is?
Yeah.
Cloak promised you points in the past, and you got them. If he promises them to you now, why not trust him?
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta, there are more important things than points. Rakia thinks as she twitches visibly.
Yeah, we gotta help out these people. They can't be oppressed forever. These pirates need to be dealt with.
I could care less about the tournament. It's best that we just get what we came here to do done.
Well,
we're in this for helping the country more than anything.
Everyone just feels like a horrible tugging as suddenly the entire platform spins around and begins firing off. If it weren't for the fact that this thing has like a special magnetization field to keep you guys stuck to it, you would be flying off before it even sets off. As you begin zooming off into the distance, as we now come back to Anarche. Okay, we come back to you.
Sitting in silence.
We come back to you. So you're now doing push-ups. However, you're not just doing push-ups. Sorry, not push-ups. Sorry. You're now doing squats, but you're not just doing normal squats. You're doing squats whilst the warden is sat on your shoulders.
Nice.
So you can either roll me a Constitution or you can roll me a Labour. Endurance under Constitution or Labour on Strength, sorry.
Well, they're both the same thing. I'll go with Strength. That feels like more of it in our case, then.
Okay.
11.
Okay. I shall roll mine. Beer Moth Champion.
Sorry.
Beat 'em
It's,
Moth.
yeah, beat him off champion. That's a different kind of champion. He gets censored a lot.
Beat a
Yeah.
moth. Not beat 'em off. 7. Yeah, despite the fact that this guy is like literally just riding the top of you, like the top of your like head, despite the fact that this is more of a thing that like very small young toddlers would do, a full-grown man is just sat on the back of your shoulders as you are doing squats, as he's just going, "Come on now, Private, I want to see you work out. Come on, I want to see you do at least 1,300 squats."
Oh, this really gets the legs going, Proper workout now. You think this would be less hard than punching rocks, but... Man, my legs must be really out of shape.
So you're telling me that this is actually easy for you, then?
I mean... Yes. I got an idea. What if you carry rocks while sitting on top of me while I do squats?
Roll me a persuasion.
With advantage. I'm making this harder on myself, yeah?
No, you know what? Yeah, I'll give you an advantage as well, actually. Yeah, that's a fair point. That is actually a fair point. This guy is all about torturing you.
9.
You know what? I'll roll. It's a flat d20.
Come on.
No. He's only
That's
got
too difficult for me.
He's only got bonuses in intimidation, but yeah, no. He's just like, it's just like, I don't want to hear any talk back. You will continue your squats until I have come up with a new idea for you. Now you will keep going. Do I make myself clear?
Sure. So when do I get a muffin break?
He then immediately screams at the top. Sorry, I just got ice in my mouth. He then screams at the top of his lungs, "Halt!" Now, what did I just hear you sim-som siddly say?
Muffin break?
Muffin break?
I mean blueberry muffins, man.
You've been here nearly an hour, and you've already given me so much sass that I don't know what to do with it. And you think that you're going to be fed? Fed muffins, no less?
I mean, you could make muffins with the sass. Sassy muffins. That sounds like terrible fan art now I think about it. Don't do that, sir, please.
It's too late. You've cursed it into existence.
Damn
You
it.
put the deviant in deviant art.
Oh, no. Okay, so...
I didn't realize you were in horny jail. Jeez.
They threw away the key.
Be glad
Yep.
I'm withholding my power to draw sassy muffins.
Oh.
I will commission you to do sassy muffins.
How much money would that be?
My commissions are currently closed.
I want
Damn it!
And they forever will be in this channel. As you
Coin! Sassy muffins, please!
as you sort of feel like a horrible, hard-hitting smack against the back of your head, as you take 18 points of damage.
Is willpower augment still up?
I'm going to
Or
say
would
no because you didn't specify it. However,
Fair
yeah, you
enough.
get full-on thwacked in the back of the head. This is painful.
Ow.
I'm gonna ask you to roll me a Oh, I guess I could. I guess I should ask this. After he hits you on your head, are you gonna still try and keep him on your shoulders, or at this point are you gonna like throw him off because at this point it's like, you know, you're in so much pain that at this point there's no focus on whoever's on you and more focus on ouchie.
You know what? I'll roll a D2. First one, I'll try and keep him on. The second one, it just hurts. Well, I guess I'm throwing him off.
Okay. Is this of choice? Or...
No, I think it's more reactionary.
Okay. So as you do that, he just flung back, boosh, as he hits the ground, and you're like holding the back of your head, as like that really frickin' hurt. Like, even though that you have been hit by strikes from basically a giant, this stings. Like, really.
Hey, I just repaired my skull. Can you not?
He then just stands up. As you turn around, his face is like tomato red. His vein in his forehead, he's now not the only one, as he's now got ones all over his face, as he's got creases, as he is now screaming at you. What makes you think that you can drop me? That is it. I have had enough with you. I am going to take you immediately to the only place that you even will ever see in your lifetime ever again. The dark hold is now.
Yeah, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack for the amount of like veins and popping that you're probably gonna do.
By this point, after his second snap of his fingers, and you go, you should, and then gone. As you are now seeing nothing but total darkness.
All around me are familiar faces. Normally someone pops out when I sing that.
As you see and hear nothing, it feels like darkness. You feel a little chilly, a little cold. There is no warmth within this place.
Well, guess it's time to go for a walk. Zanarke just walks into the ever darkness.
As you continue walking for a while, you then eventually bash your head into something. Roll me a constitution check.
Oh boy, this will technically be flat now.
Yep.
11.
Yeah, this hurts, but you don't take any damage. But yeah, like you just sort of bash your face as you like feel like you just smacked your head into some rock.
Oh. Now would the doorway be left or right? Anarchy's gonna touch his hands on the wall and start moving left and just follow the wall.
You continue doing so for a while, and eventually you feel something that isn't rock, but instead fabric. You then begin tripping over it on as your legs begin tripping over what feels to be a human body.
Ah!
Hey, I'm sitting here.
Sorry, can't see.
So you're a new one, are you?
Yeah.
Well, newbie, what's your name?
Oh, it's Anarke. What's yours?
Tony.
Well, nice to meet you, Tony. So Anarke will sit down, like, not next to him, but like, you know, a couple seats away.
I want to point out there are no seats. You still
No,
see
it's in like,
a
bit of a space between
you sort
them.
of give yourself a space. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, how long did you last before the old warden threw you in the old void hole?
An hour, I think, maybe a bit longer.
Then you are a sorry sack if I ever heard one.
Yeah, you got annoyed to ask about muffins.
You asked him about food?
Yeah.
So how long you been here? You said an hour?
Yeah.
I've been here for the last 10 years, boy.
Oh. Well, that sucks. I can't really stay here that long. I have your Kaiga to go and beat, but I need to get stronger.
Did you hit your head on the way in here?
Yes, but I repaired it, so I should be fine.
You said take on Yol Kaiga.
Yeah,
And
I
you-
did, and then he threw me in here.
And you lived to tell the tale?
Yeah.
Damn. I almost wish that I could see your face, just so I know what crazy looks like.
Well, normally I'd be fine, but I can't sense energies. Oh, I didn't realize how blind I was without it.
You can't see?
Well, normally I can... Oh, I guess I sound like a weirdo, don't I? Usual anyway. Normally I have the ability to sense life, so even if I can't see it, it's not really a hassle, but...
Right, you have a power that allows you to sense energies. That makes sense why you feel more blind than you normally would. Most people feel that way with sensory types. Myself, I never had the gift. Well, not until recently.
What do you mean by that?
This place does something to you. I mean, if you're willing to listen to the world, it talks in more ways than just visually.
Would this be an intelligence to see if I can actually grasp what he might be
It can either be
referring to?
it can either be insight or ingenuity.
I'll roll insight.
Okay.
15.
It seems as though, and this is really weird because obviously you come from a different universe. The idea from your universe is where you guys get your powers from. Is the idea that your ancestors understood the harmonization and the energy of the universe, the leftover energy of when a universe is created, and the barriers between each universe. The barriers between two universes are made up of the leftover energy of when a universe is created. So the energies eventually harmonize, and if you guys are able to tap into it, you're eventually able to basically unlock the doorways between realities, or at least between universes. What he's saying is almost similar to what you know as from your world, is sort of similar to what your energy sensing ability is, but he's talking about it like as if it's not a power, he's more like talking about the other senses are able to help you still somewhat see within the world, even though that you're not actually seeing. You're able to feel the presence of objects.
And like he sort of like goes quiet for a second, he'll sort of move his legs so like you hear the rattling and change and try and sit like best he can cross-legged. Which I guess would be more because his feet are sort of somewhat chained together. And he'll sort of put his hands on his knees. As he closes his eyes, he'll try and like sort of pay attention to all his other senses. So like, you know, sort of smelling what the room is like, trying to get the sort of feeling from his feet of what the floor feels like, trying to hear what you can possibly hear, even if it's like breathing. As he does that, he's going to try and slowly sort of like expand that outwards, those sort of feelings.
Roll me a wisdom or a willpower.
A roll willpower. 21.
You are lying there in patient waiting. Normally you wouldn't have the patience for something like this. However, it has already come to your attention that this is the only way to move forward. And therefore, you begin listening. You begin smelling. You begin feeling. And you begin becoming part of this entire room. You close your eyes and it looks no different from when you were opening them, And as you feel this, you can hear multiple people's breathing. You can feel the essence of the echoing that is within this place. Even though that there's nothing to echo in, it's just some people's shallow breathing, and that's the airflow within this place. As you start feeling the almost nothingness, you then notice just a tiny something that you could have almost thought had a rhythm to it, until you start realizing what that noise is. It's a droplet of water that keeps dropping every second. Just drop, 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 on the dot, perfectly. Never missing a droplet, never adding a droplet, just one every second. And as you feel this, you can feel the vibrations of it coming around, and it's almost like as if you can feel everyone else around you. That there are 5 other people in this hole, and that this hole expands out further than you thought. It's not perfectly circular, it's almost like an underground cave. You can feel something. You can sense something. It's not the same as your aura sense from your powers, but it's like a 6th sense in on itself. You then just hear, "Geez, kid, I've never thought that you died, have you?"
Not yet, no.
Damn. Since you've been here, you've been the only person to ever actually talk. Most people eventually wind up just being slugged over. Basically unable to even think after a while.
Is that what the other 4 are like, then?
Yeah. Although you probably already figured that out, didn't you? Considering that you can already hear their breathing. They're shallow. And it's almost like as if they've just become one with the wind of this place. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Only thanks to your advice, though.
I already knew that I sensed something interesting in you. I mean, after all, even though that this fancy little bit of jewelry doesn't seem to be nullifying too much more than just my powers, doesn't mean that I can't already tell that you're in the same boat. It doesn't have as much of an effect on you, which means that there's a possibility of something very interesting.
Well, we got plenty of time. At least for now, anyway.
Well, we might have less time than you think. What if I told you there was a way that you could get out of this place and off this island?
I'd be willing to listen.
As I said, there's a way that you are able to get off this island. No one else has been able to come in here with the kind of strength you have. Possibly because most people end up too dead. Either that, or it's because that you've gotten to the point of strength where your Kyger actually wants you alive. Most of us get beaten down to the point that we eventually die from this leeching material. Hell, the only reason I'm alive so far is because I usually keep my head down. The warden, instead of beating me, just leaves me in here, and then brings me back out whenever he needs to feed me just so I can be alive for a little longer. You, on the other hand, they need you alive. They want you on the crew, and that's their weakness. You might actually be able to break out of this place.
I definitely plan to, but for now there's no point.
Oh?
I'm not strong enough yet to beat him. Oh well, at least I don't believe I am. And, thanks to your little tip, I'm starting to realize that I'm a lot more inexperienced than I believe about the world. I've been relying too much on my powers to compensate for me. Sensing, extra physical strength, the ability to manipulate energy. I've been relying on it way too much, so I think I need to start going back to the basics.
Wait a minute. You're an Animon child.
Yeah.
An Omegan chosen by the gods, they say.
Wouldn't exactly say that's true. Definitely don't feel like it.
I've never believed it myself, but a lot of places always think that you're special in that way. But I can at least tell you now. Omegans are built a little different from us superhumans and humans. You actually might be able to pull off this break after all. Tell you what, kid. If I teach you how to get stronger in the exact way that you're currently talking about, you have to do me a solid.
Does that include breaking you out by chance?
Ugh. I already know that there's a good possible chance that I'm not getting out of here alive. But there is someone that I want you to go and find for me. If I don't make it out alive, I want you to find someone and make sure that you protect them, or at least make sure that they're still alive, and give them a message for me if I don't make it. You promise me that? And I'll teach you anything that you need to know.
I sort of like hold my fists in sort of his direction to like sort of, considering he can sense it, to more like indicate like a fist bump. Like this is the sort of the closest thing he can do to like a pinky promise or something like that. And it's sort of his way as well of promising. He doesn't say anything, he sort of just does the gesture. Or the sort of does the action.
You can feel, you can hear sort of like moving of clothing, and then nothing for a second, and then you feel like just a frail sort of sort of a lot skinnier, scrawnier hand touches yours, and you almost feel a rush of energy through you as you can now, even if your eyes are closed or if they're open, you can see the outline of his aura. He's slumped over, and he's missing one leg.
As we do this, I'd like to try something. I'd like to try and use my level 10 under Spirit, which is the resonant of two souls.
Ooh, okay.
It's
Weird
the one
enough,
that
didn't think that
essentially
this would come in handy in this way.
Yeah, essentially, if I make physical contact and I activate this ability, he will gain all knowledge about me, so in terms of like technique, abilities, and all of that. Like he'll understand all of it that I can do.
Yeah.
But I will also understand all that he is capable of doing.
Okay, go for it.
Believe it's just a 10+,
Ooh.
but I'm going to double check that. Yeah, I think it's just a 10+.
Gotcha. You can roll either willpower or the proficiency of it.
Oh, proficiency. 16.
Awesome. You both feel the rushing flows of each other's souls and energies of your life force as your willpower infuses into his and his into yours. You sort of start learning a bit about them. This guy is a superhuman, and he must be anywhere between the ages of 40 to 45. He is rather skinny and scrawny, and he is fairly obviously malnourished. He has both his arms and almost everything else is in working condition, relatively, other than the fact that his body is very undernourished. But other than that, the only other thing that is missing is his leg. His right leg is missing from just at his kneecap below. So he's still got most of his knee. When you sort of resonate with him, you understand that there is an entire aspect of willpower that you've never tapped into yet. It seems as though it connects itself to one's own understanding of not only one's mind, but the external factors around one's world. You learn that he can understand his instincts and further enhance them to the point of which that he has a way of seeing the world without necessarily needing to see. You can also see that he can somehow have an ability, an aspect that he can perfectly see up to a massive range, up to about 100 meters range. This guy is, without a doubt, practically blind in this place. But with this ability, he can't see, but he can sense almost as if he is able to see. He can't see details, but he could see you putting your hand up. You could feel that, and he can feel this entire cave. You also learn that even though that it is faint, the access to him, you also gain access to the factor of what his powers are, the abilities that he had, and exactly how powerful he was back in the day. This particular individual has the power of super dexterity. And back when he had different capabilities, he actually had the ability of flow motion. And on top of that, being able to defy all sorts of physics with basically momentum, speed, and capability of his own body, and having so much dexterity that he could outperform the speed of bullets with just a flick of some of his fingers. This guy is able to do a ton of different things. But you can also notice one other thing, which is this guy used to be some kind of fighter or an assassin. Because that his body tells almost a tale of proficiency with bladed weaponries and kill strike moves. Despite this, his soul seems very peaceful now. And his longing is just as pure as it seems to be right now. As this ends the information that you have gathered, he understands all from what you have learnt and how you are and what your powers are and where you are at your point in time.
Which, if you don't mind, I actually want to do some explaining of what he feels.
Absolutely.
For everyone else. So when he feels my will sort of flying into him, the way it feels is very erratic. As is its movements and the way it flows, it's just sort of like constantly like wanting to do more, trying to expand itself in new ways. But every action feels almost with a sense of pride, as in even though it's shapeless and erratic, it almost has a sense of pride by just doing what it's doing. However, as he sort of feels deeper, there's this underlining motion that all that energy seems to have an underlying sort of anger that, although he keeps control and his sense of humor sort of hides, sort of can flip. And as he searches deeper, he feels a massive sense of like regret, remorse, all these sort of negative feelings that you wouldn't, that off on the first layer, you definitely wouldn't sense. And you can tell it's like sort of almost eats at his core, this sort of action. Obviously the event is unknown to him.
Yes.
But it's something that has massively shaped the way that he views the world. And obviously he understands that his body is basically probably from like teenage years has just been built on battle. And it was more of a naive sort of way. And Anarche, despite his foolery, does have a deeper understanding of how serious things are in all this. But he does the humor more to protect himself than he does it for the sake of other people. As that sort of, and obviously he learns of my abilities of being a sentinel and my odd experiences of sort of being able to go across multiverses to different planets and experiencing things that people could only dream of. And the sort of harshness as the connection sort of fades away.
His arm slips from yours as his knuckles drag off, and you sort of feel him sort of like place his hand back on his lap. Well, now that's something that I've never thought that I'd see. Or should I say, experience? What was that, kid?
I figured out, at least through my view, that willpower is not so much a tool for just breaking things and fighting, as one is, but it's a way to connect to your opponent you're fighting. A way to experience the world through the eyes of others, yet not live their lives. That was my promise to you. I understand everything about you. You understand everything about me. I will uphold that promise. And you know that to be true.
I think the weirdest thing is I asked this stupid question. Because I already knew the answer as soon as I let go. Alright, kid. I'll teach you everything I know. I mean, you already probably know most of it. But so that it actually sticks in your brain, we're gonna have to get you on par. So, how do you feel about walking around in the dark? As we now come back to the rest of the party. Party, you have now made your decision, to go off into the unknown, which is through the forest. As you go over the trees, and you have been going on for at least an hour and a half, everyone roll me Perception.
Oh boy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Wow, terrible. Wow, cloak. Solid rolls.
Fletcher?
Please don't say that.
sorry, I
You've
jinxed
ruined
it.
it
Sorry.
now. It's all going down.
It's time to fight natural one
No,
immediately,
from here
guys.
on out.
Are we still got Fletcher?
Yeah, I'm still here, sorry. Perception, yes?
Yeah, it's perception. I'm assuming Juice had to go off for his session.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had to go
Okay,
to the
so
other game.
you two,
Wishes as
Fletcher
well.
and Rakia, you guys are currently looking off in the distance. You can sort of see something. It's kind of beginning. The forest is beginning to open up, but it's not for like another couple of kilometers. Cloak, on the other hand, you know by looking at it exactly where you're about to be. You're about anywhere between 1 or 2 kilometers away from the outskirts of the the capital itself. And you are again flying at about 70 meters off of the ground, which can be anywhere between 30 to 50 meters above the tree line. This much is being made clear to you. How would you like to proceed?
You know what? I will ask Willie to slow the pad.
She indeed does.
Can you see over there, Rakia?
Okay. Do I see over there? I'm gonna, I guess, roll perception again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it.
Not much better than you could before, however, it is kind of a little bit more obvious that, yep, that looks like a very large settlement. It looks like one would say either a massive town or a small city within inside of a sort of Edo period style location.
This must be the place.
Well, perhaps we should move a little further out the land and walk towards it.
Utility Lily sort of like rolls her eyes and eventually lands the thing in between some of the trees. Redoran then says, where exactly are we going to put this thing? We can't just leave it here, right? I mean, surely if we did, then we'd be about a kilometer or so outside of the capital, which could be rather difficult.
Why would that be difficult?
I mean, it's one of our only vehicles. We might need it, mightn't we?
Okay.
We really haven't needed any vehicles before now.
Except
It's gonna help.
Except from the one that we have currently used to get all the way through this place, faster than anyone else in the Land of the Sunken Moon has ever done. This would be some kind of achievement of some kind, that someone would be able to travel at this speed. It would be like a global achievement of some sort.
Okay, well, do you want to stand and guard it then? What is your plan for this?
Of course not. I just wanted to make sure that we were understood that we are leaving this gadget here, this miracle of, what did you call it? Technology.
I think that we should disguise it so that it doesn't get snatched.
Excellent idea.
Maybe cover it with twigs.
You then just
I
see
guess
like
we
him
could hide
fly.
it
It's
in
like
the
sprout
tree?
his wings and fly up, and then you just sort of hear snapping as just an entire massive mound of branches and leaves just fall onto it. As now the sun is like sort of like it's been 2 hours. It's now nearing 6 o'clock. But I want to point this out. You're now sort of seeing the rest of the sunlight from what's left of the day beaming into this huge hole in the trees that has been made for Suzaku to just rip off chunks of the trees just to put it down. There we go. It's now an entire pile, like a small hill of foliage.
Good enough.
We'll just have to remember where we parked.
So, what is the plan, Talos or Cloak or whatever your name is?
I like a racer.
Inconspicuously make our way into town.
Excellent. Then I should, in fact, stay here. Well, I'm a very well-known man in my country, and of course, I'm also very well-known here. I have made a few enemies and fought quite a few battles. Last thing I'd want to do is start any fights if I walk into the middle of the center of this place. Perhaps
I guess we could get you a disguise while we're there.
Ah, very good. Then I shall watch guard over this pile of twigs.
Very good.
Look, what do you know about the capital? How racist?
Okay, do I just know this or should I roll?
Butcher! You can't just ask how racist someone is. You just have to find out.
I would rather you not get looked at, Rakia. You're a beautiful lady.
Roll me, I guess, a world knowledge with advantage or a history with advantage.
With advantage. Hey!
That's
Oh,
So is this history or world knowledge?
world knowledge.
Okay. You know for a fact that, like, in a lot of the different places, they obviously don't like power usage. However, they actually don't have anything against races. They just don't like races with powers. They do sometimes have a little bit of a thing against certain races who have natural abilities above human capability, like Huskonians, but it's not necessarily a thing where they full-on hate them. It's more of just a thing of they don't like them in competitions, and sometimes they don't like to give Huskonians jobs in certain fields that they are better benefiting companies, because then it feels like it's unfair, because therefore it's like, oh, you're only doing this because you're a mutant rather than because that you're actually a good worker, because that you're super strong or this, that, and the other. So they don't really like to do that. But actually, most of the time, societal-wise, it is a very mixed-race culture. They just don't like the usage of superpowers.
Okay, well, that's fine then. As long as we're not too flashy, and I guess your powers aren't really flashy, just lie low and don't use them unless we need to.
I will say, at least with the natural 20, you do at least know that there are certain people who would straight up try to kill people if they attempted to use their powers in a situation that it is rather apparent that power use is strictly prohibited.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I'm trained in all the methods of weaponry and hand-to-hand. I don't really need to use them.
And you, Rakia?
Well, I won't be any trouble.
As I assume that you head out to the capital and try to, quote-unquote, blend in with the scenery.
Yes.
You continue
one
on.
more thing from
Go.
one more thing for one more thing for Cloak. Cloak. I lost some of my knives, and I found some bullets that could go in roulette.
Okay.
Is it all right if I get some of my whips out of your bag, please?
Very well then. As long as you're not going to be lashing out at anyone in town.
Oh no,
Lashing
only if
out.
they lash first. And Rakia hands you the 20 revolver bullets that could go in roulette.
So you now have
44 Magnum.
You now have
Yeah.
20. You now have 20 revolver bullets. These can be used in roulette. These 20 bullets are plus 6 damage. So you have 20 plus 6 bullets.
Okay.
Handy.
I've got my whips.
I'm not gonna run out of bullets, so that's right.
As you begin heading off, you begin walking through the forest, minding your own business for a while. You get about a kilometre in. Roll me perception, all three of you.
Okay.
Hmm,
Can I roll willpower for this, or is this just like
average.
You can if you'd like, since you have a willpower ability for this.
Okay.
Very sequential? Yeah. Sequential? Yeah, I can't. Never mind. You know what I mean. Order.
Okay. As you're walking through, the entire environment is just, it's Fletcher. To be honest, this environment's all right. Woodsy, trees. You might hear some. It's either crickets or birds chirping. You're not sure. You're just trying to get through this place because the biggest fear is there might be spiders. Rakia, you're walking through here, you're noticing the lovely nature, you're noticing the beautiful trees and the lovely birds chirping, and even crickets chirping as well. You hear all of these beautiful noises, and you hear and feel all of these, these things around you. You feel these emotions, and you feel, beneath your shoes, the crackling of some of the leaves and stuff like that. This is a really nice forest. It's beautiful. As you're going through it, this is just pretty much the main forest of your land. it's not exactly currently well known to you in the terms of this particular part of the forest, this neck of the woods, if you will. But it's stuff that you've seen before, Cloak, and
Yeah.
as you're sort of walking around, you are using your ability to sense anything. Thankfully, there's nothing there. Other than obviously, the lot of your party, Felix, Felix, Lily, Rakia, and Fletcher. No one else there. Obviously, Redoran is back with the floaty device. As you continue to go further, you're about roughly about anywhere between 500 to 800 meters away from the edge of the woods. As you're sort of doing this, does anyone discuss anything about the situation that's going on?
I
Is
can't
that
tell environment.
Is there a clear path from here to the settlement, or?
Sadly not. It seems as though you guys went off of a beaten path, so it's like there was no clear roads towards.
So we're wandering through the forest in the direction of it.
Yes,
basically.
Why can't all environments be this peaceful? Reminds me of the times hiking through Iris City's many forest paths. Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
No, it's just I was wondering. We're in this forest and we're in this region. We haven't heard anything of the Urikiri yet.
Oh yeah, we're meant to be hunting that thing. Oh, how things have went many places.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's supposed to appear, when there's loads of killings around, yeah? That's why it's in the southern region, because there's so much murder and mayhem. Is that right?
Sure.
So would it be exactly in this specific part? Are you saying?
I have no idea. I'm just curious.
Do we still plan on going after it after all this is over?
Well, it would still be fun. I do want to finish what I came here for. But I don't suppose we'll ever find the Irikiri. Nothing ever seems to go right.
Yeah. That's how all plans seem to go. Though knowing us, the trouble will come to us before we find it.
Well, we are walking into murder and mayhem, aren't we?
It's nice that we at least get this time. It's peaceful, quiet in between.
Yeah.
You then just sort of hear a lovely breeze flowing through this forest, hitting in between the trees, picking up a couple of the leaves, and it just sort of rushes past you. It is tranquil. As you then sort of also hear just a slight faint thing, but it becomes a little bit more apparent as it begins to pick up. You just hear, just ever so oddly, you just hear, "If it's peace you wanted, then why did you come here for murderous intent?"
I'm hearing things.
As Rakia and Cloak, it's not hearing things. Someone is in between the entire party. And they're right out of everyone's sight view. Everyone's view. Does anyone turn around?
Okay, I'll turn around. I'll turn around.
I might just use Scorn in order to combine my predictive and instinctive
Okay,
will.
yeah. Go for it.
Roger just keeps walking. He thinks he's going mad again.
Enough.
As you do that, do you also turn around?
I'm not going to turn around.
Okay. When you do so, you're not sure, but you still can't figure out why you can't sense this person. You heard them, definitely. They must be right next to you, but you can't sense them. Raki, as for you, you can't realize that someone, slipped by. As you turn around, you have a blade to your neck. As you see someone in a special type of mask depicting some kind of happy face. It looks really creepy. They are adorned in what seems to be similar sort of styles of a dress as a cloak, although they don't have a scarf, they don't have a cloth cloak or a cloth mask. They just have the what seems to be sort of like either clay or plastic mask that is just an overly happy face. It's perfectly porcelain white, and they are dressed in what seems to be dark, sort of blue, dark navy-ish sort of like get-up. As again, they seem to have a blade pointed to you and a blade pointed to the side of Cloak as well.
Hey Fletcher.
What's up? Oh.
Yeah.
When did you get here? You weren't part of our party.
Felix, and you also then notice when you look back, you also notice that Felix and Utilili are also surrounded by other members of this weird-looking sort of entourage, as they are also wearing masks and strange attire. One of them is holding a blade to Utilili's throat that seems to be of some kind of sort of almost golden-looking metal. Another one is actually pointing, basically on his shoulders, wrapping what seems to be a sickle around his neck as well. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have a lovely little chat. Who are you? State your business.
I'm gonna.
I just jinx everything by saying things, don't I?
I'm gonna still remain, as my back's to them. Just say, nice trick. It reminds me of something.
And how would you know about that? Also, take down the strange aura. It reeks of combat and death. You're ready for a fight. You're going to get one, and you're not going to like the results.
Well, sorry my vengeance is showing.
Vengeance? You want to avenge someone? Someone here?
Well, you wouldn't happen to know Carlos, would you?
I'm gonna roll something. And I'm not gonna add any modifiers, so you don't know how well off or how far away they are. Talos. You then hear them all go quiet. Hang on a second. You then just see Raki, you and Fletcher see the guy who's got a sickle to Felix's throat and also kind of holding on to the back of him. He jumps off and he starts looking around as he sort of dashes up to the back just behind Cloak, and then he goes around to see him. Talos. I've heard that name before. Apparently, someone took the vow of vengeance against a powerful superhero of one of the more northwestern civilizations. I heard that this kid only just joined about 3 months ago. You saying that you're him?
That would be me, yes.
What are you doing bringing foreigners here?
Well, truth be told, I just entered this funny little tournament to get strong enough to fight Talos. And I was stuck with these guys. Part of a team.
But
You haven't explained
Fletcher gives a wee
why
wee.
you're here with these cretins.
They said they would help take down this pirate menace. You know, remove them from my land.
Roll me persuasion with advantage, only because that your character doesn't seem like the one to make jokes. 16, okay.
60.
Either you're suicidal, or you actually think that you can do something. Nevertheless, that aura is definitely proving to show incredible levels of strength. Fine. Kaiser. If this is indeed, then we should probably figure this out. After all, I want to point out, only Cloak is hearing this, by the way. If these are indeed people who are wanting to do this, this may explain the recent communications. Apparently a village was recently just seen with a few affected killing and maiming some of the pirates. Right, okay. So, Talos. He then holds out his hand. Welcome home, brother.
I will outstretch my hand.
He clasps yours and pulls you in as he holds you. As he embraces you, he then just basically he says a particular phrase which you'll recognize exactly what it means. But he basically says, I warn you. The shadows are our friends today, but they may not be tomorrow. Roll me a history with advantage.
Well, that's great.
It's a 9. You can't exactly remember what that means. But, basic depiction is you think it's something to do with, maybe to do with stealth?
I get it.
He then lets go of you.
Right.
If you're wanting...
Sorry.
No, he then turns, all of them then turn and look at you. I want to point out, the one that was holding their blade to your throat is the one that's currently talking. So he's no longer actually got the blade to you. The other one that had their weapon pointed at Lily is also stopped as well.
So, are we all friends now, or?
Hush. We must speak with our own. So, Talos, you said that you're here to stop some pirates. Might your group have been something to do with a village off about, say, just off east of here?
That was us.
How long have you been back here?
What is it? About Is it like a week or something? How long have we been back?
Technically,
I think it's only been like 2 days.
in the land of the Sunken
Three
Moon, you've been here almost a week. However, actually been
Yeah.
back on the southern region less than 24 hours.
Yeah, southern region. Yeah, I didn't know if he meant like.
Oh no, it's sort of meant more.
Oh yeah, forgot about the time skip with.
Yeah, the Seru clan time skip.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Without it, it would have been 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyhow, well, we've only just arrived here in the southern region.
You've gotten here so fast. How is that possible?
One of our comrades happened to have a floating platform.
Using powers.
I don't think so.
Hey, just real quick. I heard something. You're apparently an Omegan, right? You have the ability to stop people's powers. Is that correct?
I'm not fond of being called that, but yes, I can remove the ability for people to manipulate and enhance themselves and such, abilities that people really shouldn't have.
Then you could be useful to us. In fact, you could even help us in the current situation. Right now, we have a little problem. We're currently dealing with the situation from the north. So, if we had you could stop them from having their powers and we could wipe them out. We could begin assault immediately on the border.
That seems a little aggressive at the moment.
We need to do anything that we can. Brother. I'm sorry. It's actually better that you're here. Some of us have been infighting about whether or not we should actually be fighting the pirates or if we should be fighting the North. What is your way in on this?
Well, in order to get here, we had to pass through the north.
And they just
Yeah,
let you have safe passage?
Well, we had a couple of interesting encounters. I don't know if you heard, but we encountered Suzaku.
Wait. One of the Guardians? You've encountered him. Where is he? When you encountered him, did you encounter him here? Is he here?
We encountered him back in the north.
Right. Why bring this up now, then?
Because I thought I should tell you of our exploits. Perhaps you can get an idea of who we are.
Fair enough. So what exactly would you like to tell these guys, then?
Basically how we, they allowed us sort of safe passage and helped out an ally, who has since left, but, And then, thanks to my, I guess, smooth talking, we were essentially granted resources from the Seru clan, and actually fought against its patriarch. There we stand, living to tell the tale.
Which, I want to point out, even though they are behind masks, you can sort of see their eyes widen. Do you then go on to tell them about the fact that you have Redder and Suzaku with you, but obviously not here with you?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you sort of leave that out.
Yeah, for now.
When you close in on your final piece of information, do you tell them about Anarche?
I don't. Well, I suppose if we're going towards the discussion of the pirates again, then yes.
Okay.
Because he's not really relevant unless we start talking about Yolkiger and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you get to the end of your discussion about, obviously, about the North and about sort of how you got here and stuff, what do you really sort of say as an answer to his question then?
So yes, we were essentially granted safe passage in order to help against these pirates.
The North helped you come here to destroy the pirates. And this isn't some kind of a ploy.
The only ploy is to get rid of the pirates.
So they don't want any particular things from us? Us to be in debt to them?
They, in fact, won't interfere at all with our matters, as long as this is what we're doing for now.
We'll believe you for now. Tunga Shungi, clan master. He's on the front lines at the moment. He personally says that he thinks that we should be dealing with the pirates. Others in our clan have not.
It's because that they won't help us, right? And they don't want to help us at all because they're just too busy concerned with using their powers.
They live in a fantasy world. We need to understand that we need to get back to who we were. It is about the skill of a person, not about the gifts from an accident.
Sorry, where is our clan leader?
He's at the border between both the region of the north and the region of the south, at the centile point of this country. Just a real quick one. The centile point is the dead center. Everyone calls it the centile point because it is pretty much the... Not only is it perfectly level with the sea, so the ground is perfectly level, but it's also exactly in the perfect point of... It is the exact center of every direction, north, east, south, and west. The dead center of the island. The centile point border is where he is supposedly at.
Hang on, if he's on the front lines, who's he fighting?
Supposedly, he's been going at it with a few of the others from a certain clan known as the Byako clan. Apparently they are quite ferocious.
Thankfully, on the other hand, the clan master is of course incredibly great at keeping people at bay.
The skirmishes have happened here, there, and everywhere, but the pirates have left that part of our lives alone. Seems as though they want nothing to do with warfare, even though that we are giving them half of almost everything that we own, and they give us nothing in return except from, well, a wiped out village. I am assuming that you've not seen it yet.
What are you talking about?
The demon general that's here. Her name is Rose. She got pissed at some freedom fighters, some samurai off in one of our villages. They fought back, badly wounded a commander. Rose stepped in, poisoned the entire place, killing everyone. The place is a dead zone. Nothing can go in and nothing can come out. As soon as you walk in there, you're contaminated. You won't live. No one has survived it. It's a barren wasteland. Even some of the buildings slightly melted and contorted and even started gaining strange moss and mold. It was disgusting, to say the least. She's in the capital somewhere, supposedly, but I'm not sure. We cannot find her, is what he is trying to say, brother. But she has made herself known, at the very least, that she is within somewhere on the island.
Right, the capital, where we are now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we happen to come here not only to gather some resources, but also to take down a general.
Are you mad? Not only are the generals the strongest people on here, they're even considered to be of the level of some of the divine pillars. Not to mention, if you defeat one of them, there's supposedly an entire fleet waiting to just come aboard this island. If Yol Kaiger comes here, he'll kill everyone. He's had this place hostage for the last 20-so years. And we know what he's capable of.
Well, we had a friend who actually put up a pretty good fight against Yolkaiga on his own.
What? That mad guy on the subnet, or whatever they're calling it, that was your guy?
I don't know if you can call him our guy, but, yeah.
He fought pretty well for a power user. Seemed like he had some level of skill in him. But still, it was all the same. Yolkaiger eventually ends up beating almost anyone, or killing the poor son of a gun before it's too late.
Sure, when he busts out of prison, he'll help us take down Yolkaiga.
He's on the prison. He's not getting off that island. No one has left there since he started it. He's good as dead, or he's never coming off that island, so he might as well be dead.
Well, hey, if we've dealt with the other generals and he's still not out, then I guess we'll have to go pick him up.
Roll me a persuasion with advantage. Ooh, 19, okay. These guys are inspired by your words. They look at each other and look at you and go, if you think that you can do this, and I mean really do this, then we'll have your back.
Wonderful.
So, Talos, lead the way, brother. And that is where we shall end this session for tonight. You guys
Curious.
You guys are now walking off into the capital. So in the next episode, you will begin in the capital, alongside 3 of the Shungi Shinobi clan members. And turns out, yes, one of the demon generals may very well be in the capital right here, right now. Will Anarche get out of the prison? Will these guys truly stop Yolkaiga from destroying what is known as the Land of the Sunken Moon? Let's hopefully find out in the next episode, next Sunday. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.